When you wish upon a star, you might get an IPA. Hey, it's Bryon. I'm back with a beer review, and up today from Highland Brewing, we have Wishing Star, which says it's a cold IPA, which I don't really know what that means. Is it possible that the can has any information to give us? Let's find out. Strata hops, which I've never used, shine with tropical citrus character in this dank cold IPA. So I don't know what cold IPA means, unless it's supposed to be consumed cold. It's been sitting out a little bit, not too long. Now, usually dank also, depending on what you have some kind of mustiness to it. Now, if you're sweet water, you actually use cannabis, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they do that stuff, but their dank IPAs they're pretty dank. But anyway, let's find out. Ooh, it is dank, all right. And this is a little old, so hopefully it's not too old. That's the thing with some of the sours and some of the wild yeast beers. If you're not careful, they're like pretty good, and then whoosh, they just go. But then it is dank. So it's Indian Pale Ale, AVL family owned again, unless that's the AVL family. Because there was one that had another one's AVL IPA. Now this was out of a variety pack that I originally was going to have the pack sitting here, but the people who brought it to me, they didn't know that they threw it in the back of their car, and they threw it in their cooler. They'd been down to Knoxville, and I said, bring me something hoppy. I'd done a favor for them, and they're like, hey, what can we get? I was hoping they would get some stuff local to Knoxville. And then went to like a Kroger or something and grabbed, and I'm like, this is literally 2 hours away, or an hour and a half. I don't even remember how far Asheville is. Now, Knoxville is 2.5 hours, and I really need to go back down for a visit. It's been a few years. So, yeah, you can notice a dankness right off the bat, right off the nose. And that's like I said, hopefully, I think this was probably in July, filled on 7/19. But it's been sitting in the back of my refrigerator for I forgot about it. It's almost 2 months. It's been sitting in there. So hopefully it's still pretty good. See, now that's not bad. The dankness is really on the nose. You kind of get it, and then it just fades away. And I don't know what they mean by cold IPA. If you know, let me know in the comments below. But that's very drinkable. I mean, look at and granted, I understand this glassware is garbage, but if you were to order this at a restaurant, quite often you're going to get it in a shaker glass. And I've even seen this at brew pubs and stuff, and it's just cheaper, right? It's just, they can order a zillion of these. Obviously, they're not going to have the blues on it. Is that the Oscar Blues? Yeah. They're not going to have that on it. They may have their logo on it. And they could give you a beer in it as much as in Long Island iced tea. It's the same glassware. I get it, okay? But it's definitely the wrong kind of glassware to enjoy beer out of. And I love Long Islands, Black Russians, White Russians. Basically, I like alcohol-based mixers, not without. If there's any fruit juice in it, it's very little. That has an interesting bite. It's like a dank bitterness, for lack of any term. I don't know why I'm squinting. I know I don't have my glasses on, but I can see my phone fine. That's kind of weird. But it's still kind of weird doing these setups where I can actually see myself. Normally when I use my regular camera, I can't see anything. Is that still HD? I don't know. Some of these videos I look really pink in, and it might be these orange lights, which are hot, which right now doesn't matter. You know, it's nice because it's cold outside. But about the only time we have these lights on is when I do these videos. And I think you can see this is just hanging out. But that's actually, well balanced might be the right word. I don't know. because there's dankness from the nose, there's none on the tip of the tongue, mid-mouth, and then very late, like 30, 40 seconds after the aftertaste, so after you swallow, there's like this lingering dankness that just kind of comes out in your mouth. It's kind of like some of the, I saw this years ago on, what was the name of that show? But it was James May and some wine dude who was saying the way to enjoy hops, beers, you got to belch and you hold your teeth and you get the hops stuck in there. I had never heard that. And I had been, I started home brewing back in the mid 90s. Never heard that about hops, ever. And I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's an English thing or if it's just a wine dude thing, because he does know wine a lot better than he knows beer. Because the thing I noticed about both of them is they were, especially James, is he was covering the tip of his tongue with the glassware. And when they got into some higher end beers, in this case, Sam Adams Utopias. Now this was many years ago. I forget how 20 years ago or something like that was that episode. And the fact that they thought it tasted like soy sauce tells me they did not let it hit the tip of their tongue first. And the more complex the beer flavors are, the more it has to hit your whole tongue. Your brain will register something and then you're screwed. But I don't know about wine. I can't drink wine. The sulfides give me unbelievable headaches. And the drier the wine, the worse the headache. And we're talking half a glass, and it's like my head's being split open from the inside. That is actually pretty good. And I am not a huge, there are certain dank flavors I like, and I'm not a huge fan. Now, sours I like. In particular, the blended, where you've got not a blend, but a nice mix between, my favorite sours are ones that have hoppy fruitiness and the sourness. But from the wild yeast. But that is actually pretty interesting. I like that there's a dankness that sticks around long after the beer's gone. There's hints of tropical citrus, I get that, and there's kind of a floralness to it, and then that all fades out, and then the dankness just kind of lingers in the breath. Definitely make your breath smell bad. And if that's what they were going for right there, especially on the belch, wow. But it's not overly done. I really like the blendedness. And I don't say that they're blending the beers. It's just the blend of the flavors and the aromas that stick around. The balancing is perhaps a better word. So I don't know what cold IPA means, but man, this is a solid 4.25, I think, out of 5. I've had some better dank beers. All of them from Sweetwater, and because they kind of specialize in that. I don't know why, but they do. And I definitely need to get some other stuff from them. But this is definitely a beer. Sorry, I was trying to speak too soon. You could definitely have this with certain foods. It's going to be very, to me, it's going to be pretty narrow. And I don't know, I want to say a cheeseburger, no bun. Smoked bacon, but not applewood. Hickory, which I am not a big fan of. And I'm also not a big fan of sharp cheddar, but you're gonna have to have sharp cheddar on it. You need this ping pong effect with the flavors going back and forth. So you have the almost, sour's not the right word. What's the word I want? Almost spoiledness of the dankness, but the sharpness of the cheddar. And then the hickory given this in-between mix, not sweetness, no sugar. Don't want, bacon with brown sugar and all that other crap. And the hickory smoked bacon, applewood's too sweet. Hickory's kind of that nice little go-between between the two. And definitely grilled portobello mushrooms. No fries. That's what I would mix with this. But yeah, who am I? So let me know what you think of Wishing Star. If you had anything else from Highland Brewing, what else should I be trying from them? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for the new subs and the comments. Some of them I don't understand, but I'm clicking like anyway because the conversation is the important part. Let me know. Thank you very much and goodbye. Makes no difference who you are. I don't understand that.